Welcome back, everybody, to our weekly Empath, our preview of collective energies here for us energetically sensitives in this next week, week 34, that is the 18th till 24th of August. My name is Jona Bryndis. I'm a professional energy healer and energy coach, and this is what I do every day. I work with people's energies and help them to contextualize it and to find a way to better deal with it. And when I connect with you here, direct connection is about you being able to ask questions or interact with me. I have a YouTube video that comes out a few hours, sometimes a day later, that is sort of condensed what we've talked about here in the weekly energy update. And then I have an additional video called Energy Tips for the same week that goes a little deeper into the physical, emotional, mental, social, spiritual, and energetic aspects of it. You can watch this on Patreon. I have a Patreon channel there, so those who become a member or Patreon of my channel, they get this for free every week. And of course, the heart warriors that work with me directly. I'm calling this energy update Tough Love. And not because love is so tough, but because there is something in this English phrase, tough love, that I want to pick up on. This is a feeling that's in there, and that has to do with, you standing your own ground, you standing by your own principles, by your own integrity. And even if you want to, be nice, even if you don't want other people's feelings to get hurt or whatever, it's basically saying that, you have to stand with your own feelings. You have to stand with your own truth. And we talked about inner truth last time, and there were a few bombshells that I dropped there, and there's more to come. I'm going to double down here today, because originally I was going to call this energy update Truth Training. Yes, we're going to talk a little bit about the deceptions of spiritualism, and we're going to talk a little bit about what we can do and what our energetic sensitivity and being an empath, in fact, actually has to do with this. Lucy, I see you. Yes, you're in Australia and you can't sleep. Full moon time. It's a wonderful idea to come and listen to something like this, where you get new ideas and new things to contemplate about. I can promise you that you'll be able to fall asleep after this energy update, simply because I'm talking to your heart brain. I'm not talking to your brain, I'm talking to your heart brain. And we're going to talk a little bit about this. How are you guys doing right now, besides sleeplessness and whether we are empaths or not? We all kind of feel the influence of full moon. How are you guys dealing right now? What are some of the things that are really rough for you, that are hard for you, things that you would like to get a little bit of an energetic boost for, or energetic empowerment for? Let me know here while we're talking. We also have a giveaway, as you know, towards the last third of this energy update. I give away 2 tickets for energy healing and training sessions. So this is a way for you to learn how we suggest people to dive deeper into this self-discovery and self-empowerment through self-mastery. All right, so with no further ado, let's look into the energies here of this current weekend, the ones that come in. I've mentioned this many times. This isn't really by weeks. I pick dates that seem to be the most sort of shifting dates, and that's typically after a weekend. All right, so this new week here for me starts on Sunday, when we've gone through, metabolized, and processed the energies of the current week. Okay, so currently what a lot of people are going through is a confusion, is not really knowing for themselves what is true. There is a lot of fear in the air. This is the collective energy that is impacting all of us. It's just like when there's a lot of rain or when there's a lot of wind. Okay, so this is not special. It doesn't have any particular meaning. But when it rains outside, you you do know that some things are different. Traffic is different. You may want to dress differently. You may want to protect yourself differently. But when it comes to feelings, and especially to fear and also anger, which are the two primary powers or resonances that are being used by, this collective power to be, whatever that is, without demonizing it, to manipulate us. And manipulation and deception is probably the biggest subject here for us for these next years to come. Not in the sense of whistleblowing and, continued revelations of truth. This isn't it. There were some traps in these continued revelations and in whistleblowers, and especially, of course, the woo-woo-ness of conspiracy theories, because they have hidden messages in them, and I want to tell you guys what to look out for. But the reason why I want to talk to you about this here is because I want you to understand the importance of the larger context here, what it actually is that we're all going through in this process of awakening that we are all in right now. What is awakening? We're awakening to truth. Yes, but what does this even mean? Revelations about, sort of what all these wrongdoers are doing wrong, or, what can be harmful for you, or what can get you killed. Those things aren't really revelations if you think about it, because life is a continual, birth and death cycle. It's a continual alchemy here that happens through us coming into this world, dealing with all the challenges that are there. Each time frame has a different challenge, and our challenge here is truth, learning to discern truth, because in the old days, if you think about it, there really wasn't that much information out there. This hasn't really been hitting us until just recently. Okay, in 2020, the amount of data, the amount of information available on the internet will double every 12 hours. Do you understand what this means? This means that we have no more issues with, accessing information. We now are standing at the threshold of a whole new paradigm of truth, and that is to be able to discern truth. All right? Are we going to let our governments tell us truth? Are we going to let the newspapers tell us truth? Are we going to let the whistleblowers tell us truth? Or are we going to learn how to tell truth for ourselves? This is where your energetic sensitivity and you being an empath comes in. Why do you think it is that this number of people that are starting to feel a prompting from within and starting to recognize that there is more than, just doing the right thing, or what other people think of me, or, what you're supposed to do. All these things have led to people growing into this false self and disconnecting from their true self. They have led them into letting others determine for them what is truth, what is good for you, what is the right thing for you. And I want to do a big shout out here to all millennials and even younger listening to these energy updates, because guys, you have this figured out. I know you have a bad rep. People like me, my generation, they make fun of you. But I know that you're on the right path. You are the ones that no longer, care for this stuff, because all it does for you is scares you, and it doesn't resolve a thing. And this is here really where we all have to look within, because we can rant and complain about matrix programming and powers to be and whatnot all day long. All right. But it isn't until you recognize that you have this freedom. You have the freedom to feel what you want to feel. You have the freedom to think what you want to think. You have the freedom to see what you want to see. And you also have the freedom to do what you want to do. Yes, there are some social rules, and they have a lot to do with, what allows us as humans to live together, to make this possible. But this is really what we want. What makes us happy are three things, guys. Number one, connectedness, connecting, loving, relationships, being with others, sharing with others, mutual exchange. Number two, freedom, financial freedom, immaterial freedom, the freedom to travel, the freedom to experience what you want to experience, the freedom to feel what you want to feel, and the freedom to share, this with whomever you want to share this with, the freedom to go anywhere you want to go, the freedom to wear what you want to wear, the freedom to look at, books or, whatever it is, information that you want to look at. And number three is fulfillment. The fulfillment and that comes through feeling that there's a meaning to what you're doing, that it has an impact, that other people, that it influences others, or that it helps others, or that it serves humanity in some way. Remember this, guys. This is what connects us all. All humans in this world are hardwired to wanting these three things. And now I'm challenging you. Now I'm asking you, have you actually ever done the truth test with yourself? Connectedness, freedom, and fulfillment? Do you have those in your life? And if so, do they have the right priority in your life? Or are you just doing what is expected of you, or what other people approve of, or what makes you feel, special? If you are not moving towards what makes you happy, guys, then there's something innately not functioning. And I'm using the word functioning on purpose here, because we are being so programmed to look at everything as functioning. It's a form of don't want to be political here, but it's a form of materializing us as humans. It's a form of transhumanism, all right? We are programmed and conditioned to function, okay? When I say, if you're not moving towards happiness, if you're not moving towards connecting to its liberation, to its freedom, and to its fulfillment, then there's something not functioning. The reason why I picked this word is because in this old paradigm, you are being deceived into trying to function like a machine, like a good citizen, like a good soldier, like a good whatever, mom. I'm speechless about what this info out there really portrays. It does body shaming, it does mommy shaming, it does, belief shaming. All kinds of shaming are being done to you. And just so you know, I just got cut off from Instagram. So sorry if truth training is not according to the Instagram community rules. That's why I didn't call this energy update truth training. So what I mean to say with all of this, guys, is that the only fight worth fighting, the only thing worth standing up for, is not your fame, your status, your, false self, the things that don't actually have a meaning for you. What is important for you to see as the only real purpose in your life is to bring yourself into full expression, to bring your true self, to bring your inner truth into expression. All right? And this is where this whole spiritual awakening and being an empath comes in. All right? So it is about you learning how to liberate yourself of these limitations of our matrix. Our matrix is programmed towards materialism and towards, making everything, everybody function. And that is what drives you into your false self. And that is what creates the confusion in you. All right. So this coming week will be a wonderful week for you to train this with yourself and to really contemplate about what your true motivations are, and if you're actually following through with them. If what you are doing, thinking, emoting, and even what you're sensing, if this is really based on your own inner truth, or if this is something that is coming in from the outside, you being told that this is the right way. All right, so integration is the theme here for this week. Okay, so after a brief refinement and correction phase, we go into the integration phase, and that is where we need to slow down. That is when we have to understand that all these extremes are actually no good. They just lead to collateral damage. That it is in us calming, pacing our inner sensations and feelings and emotions, filtering them down, making sure that, we are focusing on our feelings and sensations and emotions and thoughts, and not what is coming in from the outside. It's basically training to validate your inner matrix, okay? So you can bigger about the outer matrix that comes in through collective energies, through the collective unconscious, but you can also, and you need to, as awakening person, really go into your inner matrix. This is other people, and we too on occasion call this shadow clearing. We call this, the inner journey, the inner work, whatever you want to call this. But this is what the truth training is really about, to learn the skill set to discern truth, all right? And if you cannot discern truth, that's when you fall for these outer truths that are being fed into your system. Understand that all the challenges and resistances that you are experiencing in your life are part of your growth. They're part of your maturing and your evolving process. Without those challenges, you cannot grow. And sometimes it's tough. Sometimes it's tough love. Sometimes you have to let go of things that you thought you loved, or things that you invested a lot in. And this sometimes also includes relationships. But if you can move into your inner truth, find your inner voice, and communicate this to the people that you love without fighting against them. You don't have to convince nobody. Just because other people see things differently doesn't mean that they're dumb or that they're not awakened. It just means that they are fighting their own inner battle of dualism. So next week here is, all in the sense of integration. And integration means Trinity. It means going away from the duality, right or wrong, to the Trinity, which is recognizing that we have this divine creation power, this divine manifestation power within us. But we need to know which of our sensations, feelings, emotions, thoughts, and actions are actually based on our truth and not the outer truth. Okay, so I hope this is getting across here. I would love for you to ask questions. Yes, that's cool, Sandy. You're making many changes to its freedom right now. That's wonderful, because that's really what this is all about, if you think about it. What does all, the money in the world do for you if you have no time to enjoy it? What does all, the love in your world, in your life, mean if you have nobody to share this? Okay, so yes, it is all about you following through with what makes you happy, and not what makes you temporarily feel good. That's dopamine, that's what this internet malinformation does with you. It packages everything sort of in beautiful colored pictures, and gives you one dopamine hit after another. All the temptations here that we see as humans, whether it's online pornography, online conspiracy theories, even new age stuff is a temptation, guys, because it has hidden messages in there. And one of the big ones that you've heard me talk about a lot in the past is spiritual specialness, trying to make you feel special so that you no longer, really check in with your inner truth. Another one, and that's something I really, really want you guys to see. I come from New Age myself. This is all part of my own evolution here, all right? But the whole point is that when you have enough foundation, education, discernment, integration, then you can understand, or you can see through some of these things. You can see through the deception. And the deception in most of the New Age spiritual, woo-woo teachings is And it's very hidden. But this comes in through, whether it's aliens or some kind of galactic force or some kind of, rescuers that come along and will bring divine law and order back into this material 3D world and eradicate the dark and evil. And all you got to do is sit there and wait. The hidden message of a lot of the New Age teachings, guys, is apathy and passivity. Okay, where you are just supposed to sit there and think about waterfalls and unicorns all day. Be very special as you do this because, that allows you to stay in your cloud, all right, in your ivory tower and not do anything. It is only inner truth that can allow you to see through these things. And while there is a lot of truth in many of the esoteric teachings, which I've studied them, guys. I mean, this is where I'm offering you a culminated version of this. But I can see when people are talking BS. And that's something that most of you can't, not because you're not as special as me. That's not the point. The point is because you don't have the foundation. And the way to discern this, guys, right off the bat, is if a teaching or if a teacher talks about things that you cannot study, that you cannot prove for yourself. I'm not talking about scientific paradigm. I'm not talking about evidence-based. I'm talking about being able to go through the steps and learn what it is that's being portrayed. You can still make up your mind about it. You still have the freedom to believe it or not, or to find it reasonable or to agree or not. But if there is something that is being portrayed that you cannot even study, where you cannot even see the sources, where you cannot even, do any kind of testing or proving for yourself, that's most likely deception. All right? So what you need to learn is that it is in your responsibility to create the right foundation and to develop the skill set to discern, okay? The fact that there is so much misinformation out there is not the problem. It is your inability to discern truth is the problem, all right? And when these fear waves come over our collective, like they are right now, okay, what you are feeling, especially if you're an empath, is not what you are feeling. The emotions that go through your system, the stuff that influences, manipulates your nervous system is not yours, guys. You are being steered into this because you lack the ability to test this. You don't even know how to. This is where energy awareness comes in. This is where energetic self-care comes in. This is where empath training comes in. This is why I keep pounding you guys with this is essential. Just like how basic knowledge about nutrition and exercise is essential. You need this, not to function better, no, to live better, to become healthy, to become happy, to be able to connect, to feel the freedom, to know that you have a choice and not to feel powerless all day long, and to feel meaning and fulfillment and to know which these things are that can bring this to you so that you know what to focus on. This leads me to the giveaway, guys. One of the big phrases that I used here today was integration leads to integrity. And there is a way to train this here at transCODES, as you know, which is almost like a gym for energetically sensitives, okay, to train this discernment, to learn how to feel your own heart and to learn how to use this heart brain of yours that is connected with your brain. But the brain is just a small part of that, okay? The brain feeds it, all right? And when you sever this connection between your brain and your heart, all right, then your truth is gone. And guess what severs this connection between your brain and your heart? It is the constant bombardment. It's the neurotransmitter bombardment and it's the information bombardment that clogs your information processing, that clogs your third eye, that clogs your nervous system, to overreact to everything, and also in many cases to desensitize to a point where you just want numbness because it's too much. All right. And the peace in you, the physiological peace in you that can recover and that can, reconstitute this connection between your heart and your brain is your vagus nerve. The vagus nerve, it runs through your spinal column, guys, and is literally regulating all your functions all the way to the immune system. And when I talk about energetic or etheric immune system, that I'm talking about using mindfulness, using meditation, using energy work to stimulate your vagus nerve, and to calm your nervous system down. This part of your brain that can be manipulated from the outside, that goes straight into your adrenaline, cortisol, and neurotransmitter part of you. Okay, so I don't know if you can still see me here, but this is a big part of energy awareness, that you see how all this is connected. And this Saturday at 5 p.m., we have one of our most popular energy healing and training sessions called Grace Integrity from Patricia St. Clair. Hi, Patricia, if you see this, thank you for giving this to the world. And there are, I don't know how many practitioners over the world now that offer Grace Integrity sessions, but this is the the process of bringing you out of your own duality, your own transhumanism, so to speak, the right and wrong, into your inner trinity, into recognizing the divine creation, recognizing your inner higher power. And it's not woo-woo, guys, and it's not religious at all. It is a wonderful healing modality that has helped thousands and thousands of people all over the world. So I'm giving away 2 tickets for this year, and all you need to do is type in, I want my feelings to be mine. I want my feelings to be mine. Yeah. Okay, I haven't even spoken out and the tickets are already gone. Lucy and Anita, you guys are in. You guys won those tickets. Lucy and Anita, so wonderful. See you, Lucy. Maybe that's why you couldn't sleep. You just had to come here and experience this. So I'm wishing you guys a wonderful session here. That the winners of the 2 tickets, we have energy coaches that are sitting on the other side of the session and that reflect this back to you. We have, for every session that is going on here, live energy coaching in our Empath forum. So send me your email, please, so that I can send you the instructions and all the links and so forth. And as far as like next week's challenges is concerned, guys, keep your eyes open. Understand that integration is what leads to integrity. And sometimes it's tough love. Sometimes you have to choose your own integrity over your emotions. And why is this easier when you have energy awareness? Because you understand that your emotions aren't necessarily yours. That your thoughts aren't necessarily yours. Okay? And maybe even the energies that you are sensing aren't necessarily yours. Okay? So happy discerning, happy truth training for next week. Next weekend, not this coming, but next weekend, the world is going to look differently. And I hope for many of you, much more optimistic and less fearful. So understand that fear is part of manipulation. All right. Love you guys. Hope to see you next week here. Please share this video, push the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and subscribe to my email list for a written report where I go much deeper. Also, check out the YouTube channel for these concepts for empaths explainer videos. It's coming along great. There's a lot of great videos there now, and also the free empath training that I have there. There's like roughly 500 hours of truth training on my YouTube channel. So if you have another sleepless night, guys, then you know where to go. Go inward, and maybe watch some of the videos where I explain some of these aspects of deeper truths and self-discovery. Bye-bye.